Good evening. I want to look over a few pairs that have developed since the weekend, starting with Australia and US dollar. It looks like there's a good trade coming in this. This pattern is clearly corrective. I've now recounted the move down from 2 weeks ago as simply three waves, A, a try for B, and C. So I'm marking that as A. We have a corrective um, pattern here, which looks like three waves and is done. So on a break here, I'm looking for this to continue down. It's beneath the ATMA. We should see this fall and break here based on the pattern. Now, I'm counting it as three waves, so it falls in line with the other motions here, which this is three overall, this is three, this is three. So we're looking at a pattern here, which is A, B, C down. Now it may become more complex, and the A, the B, and the C here may be a larger A, and we may correct up and then have a third part down. But overall, it looks like it's going to continue down here. So there's a good trade setting up there tonight or tomorrow, maybe a bit more of a correction up back to 76.10 or so. But so long as it remains beneath this level, even if it corrects up in another three, it looks good to sell because the move overall on the 4-hour chart is corrective. Okay, just quickly over the other dollar pairs. I'm not trading these, but looking at euro dollar, it is 5 and 5 down here. So we have a three-wave move here. I'm going to count this for the time being, give the overall larger bearish view the preference. So it could be one here, wave two, and then one of three, and this is a flat for two of three, and now we continue down. Alternatively, it's still bearish, but I'm looking at this as maybe just three waves. This is three, and now we have three more down, and then see another move higher, and this pattern overall becomes more complex. It's still kind of choppy. I do favor the downside here. It's just not clear how it's developing, but there is the option here for a very bearish countdown for wave three of three overall. And just to jump over to some of the more exotic pairs briefly, a good example of a wave three of three is here in Aussie New Zealand, which did not correct down for the possible flat that I mentioned. Has simply continued up. It's been relentless, and it is clearly not going to, in my opinion, abate anytime soon. I'm looking for a move above 110 to 111, 112 in the near term. Looking at the monthly near-term resistance points, aside from that trend line, there is the 55 EMA here, which, as you can see from past price interaction, it is interactive overall. So there may be some temporary resistance there. But this is somewhere in wave three of three overall, and it's been relentless. Euro New Zealand 2, continuing up in larger wave three, another pair that's been unstoppable. Euro Australian dollar seems to be making a fourth wave here. We've had three down, and if it can hold this low from middle of last night, it should be okay for another leg up. It does look good for a move higher to continue up. So anyone long that pair has a good chance. The violation point is around here. It would turn it into a three-wave move. We're looking for wave four to hold above this high here. So just back to the dollar pairs. Cable has a chance of basing here. For this wave down, I can get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we may be done here for an X wave with divergence. It needs to follow through on this. Given that the other dollars pairs are looking bearish, this could turn into that triangle overall because everything essentially has been in threes. So that would put this as C. This is going to be D, and we'll just see a gyration here and a collapse. So regarding the pound itself, I'm not going to be, I can't be really bullish on this unless I see an impulsive wave here and a small correction. As I've said many times, it's not a good pair to trade. New Zealand dollar, New Zealand, as I said on the weekend and before that, is the weakest currency going. It's just simply collapsing. Not just here, Euro New Zealand is weak. New Zealand Canadian dollar is very weak. Aussie New Zealand is weak. Even pound New Zealand is looking weak. This has been a difficult one, but it is advancing from here. So minimum target on this is 7778 for the possible fourth wave triangle for A, B, C, and then D, E. Alternatively, above 1.8 to 1.84 region in the larger wave 4 area, or wave 4 of wave 3 area. Okay, and there's been some development on Canadian dollars. Finally, Euro Canadian dollar is back into play. Now, I like this pair for many reasons. I was tracking this a lot last summer during this very awkward correction here, which I'm marking as 2. That was a difficult one to deal with, but so far the issue on this overall, I'm just going to stretch back to the monthly. So the data I have here, going back to 1994, I'm looking at this, frankly, as a for one more low all the way down to 1.2. It's a process like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm really looking for one more low down to here, which is a huge move. Let's see if it materializes. That is the plan at the moment. Now, looking at shorter time frames on Euro Canadian dollar, looking at the weekly, this is a 5-wave move here. Let me actually switch to the daily and zoom out. So we have 5 waves in 2016. The 2016 summer move here, this was very difficult. I ended up losing some money on this choppiness. And this is the presidential day spike. So this ended the wave 2. Now what we've had since there, it gets really interesting here. As from the Trump election news, we had a 5-wave move down here. Sorry, one moment. So this is the wave 2 high here. So we had a 5-wave move down to here. Now since then, we've been correcting, and right now I'm looking at this as a flat. 3, 3, and 5. So 1, 2, 3. We want to see wave 4, and we want to move up towards the 143, 144, 145 area and turn over and collapse. Now on Thursday, there's going to be ECB news and a press conference, a meeting as usual with, what's his name, Draghi. And so Euro will be active in play then. Now, there is a case to be made that this is 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to see a move up with a bullish euro. I don't think that'll happen right now, as I showed on the monthly. I think we're looking at 1, 2, 1, a flat for 2 of 3, and now a big collapse under that. The monthly is not so bullish. There is a decent candle there, but overall pattern is looking down in my view. So this is one to watch into 144, 143, 145, anywhere like this for a flat. Could turn into a running flat, could turn into an expanded flat above the 30 December high, but so far it is looking good. Now going over to US Canadian dollar, this did break the violation point. I'm disregarding this 1-2 at the moment. I need to relabel this. But any bullish strength up to 136, 137, 138, I'm looking for an immediate turn back down. We may see a bit more corrective move here before we go up higher. I'm not sure right now. But at the moment, I'm looking for this to turn around. There is one other option on this. If it fails to break this high, there is a case to be made that we had a 5 down here, and we've been correcting with a B, C type move. So if it holds this high, there is that possibility open, but I would really at this stage rather see one fast move up above this high, above 136, and a move down just as fast, or probably faster. So that does tie in with Euro Canadian dollar. Now, Euro Canadian dollar has been leading US Canadian dollar in terms of down moves. It's been more violent and has been out in front. So if we see a reversal here on Thursday in Euro Canadian dollar, US Canadian dollar may follow soon after that. Going to the yen pairs quickly. Still looking at this as a 5 up with one more low to come in Euro Yen. So essentially not much change, looking a bit lower for that to reverse. Now, just because I'm looking at Euro Canadian as a preferred down move, Euro Yen does not have to follow down. We'll see if we can find a low here. And US dollar yen as well. I'm looking at this as a 5-wave move overall for 1 of 3. So probably another move down. This looks choppy and corrective. See if we can get a low here to the 1 hour. Some 50% level, 113 even, 1129, something like that. This definitely looks corrective now. This is not the type of motion to buy. Maybe the type of motion to sell if you like this type of trade. Market as a breakout, you have the kind of situation where you have a bear flag type thing. Any break of the low may see a decent move down, but I am treating this as 5 up, extended wave 1, shorter wave 2, and third wave there. And overall, I'm looking higher in this pair still. Okay, so I think that's it. One more I want to deal with since I've gone over everything just now. Gold. It's interesting. I'm still looking at this as a leading diagonal. From the December low, I'm looking at this as a leading diagonal into that little shooting star. Now remember, as I said before, shooting star candles do work. Don't listen to anyone who says they don't work, but they have to be in context, which this is at the top of a gyration. And they do need to have the right look. So a shooting star should have a red bottom, a hammer should have a green bullish top. These shooting stars which have green tops, green bottoms, and these hammers which have red tops, they are weak. You want to be dealing with strength or weakness in the appropriate color if you have candles, as well as context. So there needs to be a kind of adequate definition in terms of appearance as well as contextual placement in these things. So in any case, I am looking for this to bounce at some time. This could be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3. Then we see a turn and one more down. Alternatively, I could look at this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5. So we could see A here, a bounce, and then one more low. So this section here is just about done in my view as wave A of a correction, most likely. There's divergence looks like it's failing there. It does interest me to take this higher since I did not short it. The weekly is still turned up, so we could see one more high as I talked about on the weekends, or even something more bullish. So see if it bases out anytime down here. A trend break here may see a chance to head higher for a good, who knows, $30, $40 move. All right, so best pair to look at the moment, in my view, is the corrective pattern on Aussie dollar to sell. And unfortunately, some of these other exotic pairs, which I've been going over, they have not relented, so they simply are continuing up. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.